table. So this is how to create a calendar table. We can create it in different ways. I will show you 3 different ways to create a calendar table. So you choose one. So why do we need to create a calendar table? Well, I would have preferred us to use the column, the date column in our data set. But sometimes, right, Power BI may not be able to filter maybe your weekend dates, may not be able to filter some of the, especially when you are trying to create some KPIs. So it is a best practice to create a calendar table. So watch as I create this calendar table. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to go to my go to my modeling tab and click on new table. So once you click on your new table, let me go to my table view so that you see what I'm really doing. Let me go to my table view and let me click on new table. So if you are, so there are 2 ways. So if you are here, if you are on your report view, you go to your modeling tab and click on new table. But if you are on your table view, then you don't need to go to the tab, just click on new table. So this new table, if you want to create a calendar table, you can just say date table is equal to calendar auto. So automatically, if your data maybe is up to 12 months, fiscal months, or even 3 months, automatically to just generate your calendar, your date table. And the second way to do it is when you use your calendar dates. Let's say you have a range of dates that you really want to, use. Then you can say you want to create another table. So let's create date table 2. Date table 2. And say calendar. Then you bring in your date. So I think our date started from 2020. Then the month, let's use I think it's March. I think it started in March 3. Then the day, let's use first. Comma. Bring in another date. And say 2025. Let's say March 31st. So as you can see, we have created what? We have created a date range. So when you create this date, so we need to create another date table. Click on new table. So we want to create this date table in form of minimum and maximum dates. So we can say that we have, so in this you are going to use variables. We are going to use variables for this one. So I need to push this down a bit. All right, so I will need to create a variable and I will need to create minimum dates. Then we have our dates column. You look for your date column. Press enter again for maximum dates. So Power BI will filter where your date started from and where it's ended. Right? And where it ended. Then let us return. Let's return calendar minimum dates. So your variable, once you create a variable, your variable shows here minimum dates and your maximum. You can see that I have my minimum date. So where my date started from to where it ended. So if you click on this filter, you will see that my date started from 2020 March 2022. But I want to check for my year. So I will click on add column. I'll click on add column and I will say here what I'm trying to add my column, which is year. So I will just give it year of this first the date. Okay. So let me see what I have. So you can see I have 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. So that is how to go. So I'll actually continue. So we are choosing these dates.